everyone, welcome back to Brett and Lena's Healthy Gourmet Vidbits. I hope you've been enjoying these videos we've been sending out. We've been having a lot of fun doing them. And today's video, I'm going to be sharing a turkey burger recipe, a variation of it that's been in my family for several years. So let's get right down to it. Today's video, I'm going to be taking the turkey burger recipe and making it into a little turkey burger slider. Now, if you want to make it a burger, then you just obviously roll them and press them out to burger size. Today, I'm going to roll them and press them out into a slider size. Along with these turkey burger sliders, I will use the rest of the turkey meat to make turkey meatballs, put those in the oven with a little marinara sauce. And to have with the burgers, I'll make the potato chips that you always see me making in the show. So let's go ahead and get started with that. In my bowl here, I've been giving the potatoes an ice cold bath. I cut these up earlier today and I dropped them in a bowl here with some sea salt and some ice cubes and kept this in the fridge for at least a minimum of 2 hours. The best results come when you soak these overnight, but 2 to 3 hours is sufficient. Let me show you what I did. I saved one potato here so I can show you how I cut those potatoes using the number 5 cone. Remember, the number 5 cone is that crinkle cut cone. So take that cutter, lock that cutter down on the countertop, take that 5 cone, set it on top, put the potato here, and that's how you get the perfect cut of that potato for the crinkle potato chips. Okay, so these have not been soaked, so I'm not going to use those, but I did want to show you how nice and easy that was to cut, and they're the perfect crinkle size, round size cut with that number 5 cone. So let's get started with these. So now that you've been soaking these potato chips in ice cold water, in their little ice bath here, what I call it, you want to strain them. So take your strainer, pour them through the strainer, and then pat them dry really well. All right, now we're back. So you see I strained the potato chips in a strainer. Just go ahead and take them out, place them on a towel because you want to pat these off. You got the starch out. Now you want to make sure you go ahead and pat them off and get that moisture off of them as well. And I have a preheated oven behind me waiting on me with our large cookie sheet inside there. We'll take these potato chips, season them up, and then put them right on top of that cookie sheet. Okay, so now that you laid them out on that towel, take the second towel, place it on top, and you want to pat them off. Get them nice and dry. Like I said, you got that starch out of them. Get them nice and dry, get the moisture off of them. And then you want to go ahead and put them inside a mixing bowl. And then we're going to add our favorite seasoning to it. We'll put these chips inside that mixing bowl. Our favorite seasonings. Get these inside that bowl like that. And then add a little drizzle, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, combined with 1 tablespoon of canola oil. I'm going to add some of my favorite seasoning of all time. Of course, it's the garlic. Just a little bit like that. And then I want to add a pinch of salt. And there, a little bit more, not a lot, like that. Toss them inside that bowl really well. Get them nice and coated inside there. You want every chip to be coated because this is how they're going to crisp up really nicely inside the oven. Remember that oven's at 400, 425. I start off at 425, and as soon as it beeps, it hits 425, I cut it back to 400. And we're going to let these run for about 15 to 25 minutes on that cookie sheet. Now, let's grab our cookie sheet out of the oven, the large one we're going to be using today. Remember, it is hot, so have that little oven mitt waiting for you. Let's get these chips cooking on our cookie sheet. You want to crisp them up really well, so make sure you separate them on the cookie sheet so they're not lying on top of each other. The nice thing is, you don't have to flip them over. They'll crisp up on both sides if they have enough space. You just want to turn that cookie sheet around halfway through the cooking process. All right, now we have them all laid out, so now let's get our cookie sheet back inside the oven. It's hot. We're going to go like this. And let that chip run for about 15 to 25 minutes. So now that we have our chips in the oven, I also want to take this little saute pan. I'm going to add a little olive oil to this. And we're going to sweat some garlic because this is what we're going to add to the chips once they come out of the oven. Add a little fresh garlic on top of the chips with some fresh thyme. I'm not going to put the thyme in right away though. The thyme will go in towards the end, but right now I do want to sweat that garlic up. Fire up this burner here. Now let's get to the burgers. What I'll do first is take about 1.25 pounds, cut it in half, use half for the sliders, the other half for the fresh meatballs. So take that fresh ground turkey, throw it inside your bowl like that, and then we're going to start seasoning it up a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to use some things inside here that you can keep or delete, or work it to your taste buds. I'm a big fan of parsley, so I'll start off with some fresh parsley inside there, and then I want to add some, of course, fresh basil to this, and then I'm going to add a little fennel, and then I'm going to add some garlic. Now, normally I would take some fresh garlic and put it inside here, but since the meatballs are going to be small and the sliders are going to be small, I don't want big chunks of garlic inside these meatballs and sliders. So I'll use a granulated garlic inside here, and I'll sprinkle this generously. We love our garlic. And I also want to add some fresh black pepper to this. And again, this is to your taste buds, okay? My breadcrumbs are going to be going next, inside there. And then we'll add about a tablespoon of fresh ricotta cheese. Now you can use low-fat ricotta cheese, but a little bit does go a long way, remember that. So the sliders will be small, so we're just going to take about a generous heap of ricotta cheese, put it inside there. Then I also want to add 1 fresh egg to this. The whole egg goes inside there as well. And then you want to get in there, don't be shy with this, get inside there with your paws and mix it all up really well, and then we'll roll these out into sliders and meatballs. Okay, so now that we have everything all mixed up, let's take our little ice cream scoop here and make little meatballs and sliders. I'm going to start off with 6 sliders, and then we'll use the rest of that for the meatballs. These are a lot of fun. Pat them out, roll them, pat them. There's 1. And we'll drop these on the square griddle, and you don't have to let them cook a long time because they're so little. You're looking at maybe 7 to 10 minutes, and that's total cooking time. Maybe 12, depending on how high your heat is. Remember, when you cook these, you want to go medium heat, not real high, but again, you want a nice sizzle on them. Let's add these burgers to the square griddle. Put them back on that burner. I'm going to go to number 4 with this on the gas range. That's about a medium heat. I do want to get my large skillet cover out and put it on top of those burgers. Large skillet cover on top. Okay, so now the rest of these, what we're going to do is make some meatballs with these. And I'm going to use my cake pan, starting with a little bit of store-bought marinara sauce. The meatballs have such a nice flavor to them. You're going to scoop, and just roll these out. And they're going to drop right inside there like that. Okay, and these will go in the oven at 425 for about 35 to 45 minutes. At the very end, I'll cover them up with a little more sauce and some fresh Parmesan cheese. The top shelf's being used right now for those potato chips. Let's hit the bottom shelf with those meatballs. Put them down there like that. Check our burgers out. Looking real good. Now what I want to do is take the sauce that we're going to top those meatballs with, put it inside that saucepan to really kick this up. Take some fresh basil and put it inside there. Fresh parsley goes inside there. And I'm going to add a little garlic to it, of course. Let that go ahead and cook, simmer on low heat. Give it a quick little stir like this, and this is what we're going to top those meatballs with. Now let's make the burger sauce. I'm going to start off with a little bit of veggies. I'm doing like a scoop of this here, maybe a scoop and a half. And then I want to add some ketchup to this. And then we're going to add a little bit of sweet relish inside there. Just over a tablespoon. Mix all this up really well. And this will be the sauce we'll use for the burger. So we're going to use this as our sauce, and then we'll use these little pickles, and we have some cheese down here for that as well. Okay? So in the meantime, I want to take this fresh cut thyme, put it inside there with that garlic that we've been sweating back there for those potato chips. Get that little quick little mix. Sure. Okay, let's take out our deep dish pie pan, which has many uses. I'm going to add my buns to this, and this is going to be how we're going to get our buns nice and warm today for those sliders. Just put them inside there like this. Stick them inside the oven next to the meatballs. Now, those chips are coming along real nice. What I want to do next is turn the cookie sheet completely around. Give them a quick little turn and let these run for another 10 to 12 minutes. Let's flip our burgers. Take your burger press, if you have one, set it right on top like that, and let them cook for the remaining time. Okay, let's grab the chips out of the oven. They're all nice and crispy. Set these over here for a second. You just want to let them cool for a quick second. They're hot. And after these cool off a little bit, what I'm going to do is put them inside this bowl here and mix everything together. I'll set them off to the side here, and then I want to shred up some Parmesan cheese for the rest of the food. So let's go ahead and take this Parmesan, cut a nice piece off like this, knock that cutter down like this, set this cheese on top of the number 1 cone. And this is the cheese we're going to use for the potato chips and also the meatballs that are still in the oven. So what I want to do right now is get those meatballs on the top shelf, turn off the burgers, they're done, and the buns are done. Buns are nice and golden brown and crispy. This is the sauce that we use to top off the meatballs. Put it right on top like that, okay? Let them keep on cooking inside the oven. They have to go another probably 15 minutes. Take the fresh Parmesan cheese you just sliced up, put that on top of your meatballs like this. Let's get these back in the oven at 425 for another 15 minutes. Let's get our potato chips inside our mixing bowl. And then we'll take that fresh garlic and rosemary, put it right on top of these. That in there. And then we'll add a little bit of cheese to these. Why not add some more garlic? What the heck? And then we're going to give these a quick little toss. And then we have our little boat here with a little piece of parchment paper inside there. You'll see those? Wait till you try these. They're delicious. And then we want to make the topping for our burgers. We're going to set these up, tops and bottoms. That oven's at 425. Did you hear it beep? So those meatballs will be in there for another 15 minutes. Let's get some burgers out there. Set these on the bottom half of those slider buns. Don't let that pan scare you. We're going to clean it up really easily. Remember, I showed you that in some of the last videos. So what you want to do right now is get some water on there while it's still hot. Put it back on that burner and just wipe it off. I'll set it here on a low heat burner. And what I'll do next is slice up some cheese. So you can use whatever cheese you like, and then we're going to add some pickles to this as well. So a little pickle on top, like this, pickle here. Let's cover these up. So there you have it. When we come back, we'll pull the meatballs out of the oven and call it a wrap. Okay, let's cut the oven off. Meatballs are done. The last 5 minutes, I put it on a broil, high broil. The nice thing is you can do that because these cake and pie pans can take any temperature heat. So you have a nice golden brown top with the cheese, Parmesan cheese, the meatballs. So there you have it. We have our turkey burger sliders, homemade, crispy, ruffled cut potato chips, and the homemade meatballs. Until next time, keep it quick, keep it healthy, and always make it delicious. Take care, you guys.